I am genuinely shocked by how things are going. um, so I partnered with my mentor basically to help him in his new company he's launching, yada yada. All I'm doing basically right now is calling leads. Some of them are inbound leads, some of them are like old leads, stuff like that. And basically getting really good to being on the phone, talking to leads, that kind of stuff. Um, and I only started like 2 weeks ago or something like that. And the first calls I was making were disastrous. I was getting the offer wrong. I was saying things wrong. I was bumbling like an idiot. And today I am tired. I am, barely functional, like sick. You maybe even be able to tell with my voice, but like I can't speak for more than like 30 minutes without my voice giving out. And like various other issues. But I found a way to dial and kind of just push through it. And I got on a 15-minute long call with one of the leads, answering a lot of questions, things like that. And this time, no matter, like, I was exhausted. I'm, really, it's really hard to talk without, like, I don't know, like having to cough or something like that. And I said every single point perfectly. I asked my mentor to review the call because it was a long one. I booked the guy in to have a call with him to close to be a new client because he was interested. It's just I wasn't really sure how the call went, but I was watching back the loom he sent me back, and every time there was this pivotal moment of like something could go wrong if you say something wrong. Every time I said the correct thing on repeat for the whole call, and the guy was kind of, I don't know, he was kind of messed up in the head, so he didn't fully understand some of the things I was explaining, so I had to repeat myself, and there were a few times where I could have said something better, reframed something better, or something small, but um like overall the entire call went just about as good as he could have done it. And I'm only 2 weeks into this. The calls I was making a week ago sounded like I don't know. It's just it's just the worst. Like stumbling over his own words, barely able to like get through a sentence. It was just horrible. And he even said at the end of the video, good tonality too, which is new because my tonality normally sucks. In this call, I was just like, whatever, just kind of doing it my normal voice I talk in, and I was so locked in. So, yeah, that's how that went. And like, it it shocks me how good of a result can happen in such circumstances sometimes because everything was against me today. I'm not saying this in a way of like uh I don't know, like not in some braggadocious way. I'm just saying like all of normally what I would have done is fold and lay in bed and be a victim. And I don't know, something just snapped and I was like, nah, we're calling. And that turned out to be the best call I've ever done. Booked him in for tomorrow. He's definitely going to show because he expressed a lot of interest. He was very invested in the call. Um, Although the beginning was a bit rough with the first couple of lines, but we got through it. And like that's just amazing that was completely on autopilot. It just my brain shut off almost completely because I'm tired, I'm sick, and various other issues. And it's becoming so automatic that I don't really have to think. I just know. Um, and the whole goal of this is to work with him, get really good at sales, get really good at talking on the phone, basically get really good at understanding what they want and then using that for my own business. So when I really start looking for new clients, things like that, right now I'm not like doing any outreach, anything like that, because my goal is to learn from him. And then I'm also upcharging a client pretty soon to like a lot more than what he's paying right now. So that is going to give me a nice buffer of, cash that I can then pay him for mentorship as he helps me, walk through and set up everything for myself. This is just me kind of in a learning phase, building rapport with him, even though we already have rapport. Um, I don't know. It's just crazy to me how things can shift so suddenly when everything feels like it's against you. And I don't know. When I finished watching that Loom, I couldn't even believe it, to be honest, because like every time he would review a call of mine, he'd be like, "Nope, you said this wrong. You shouldn't have said that." Like like every 10 seconds, something I said was wrong. In this call, there was basically nothing. He said I said wrong. I just could have reframed differently. I could have said something slightly differently. That's about it. Um, so I'm just very happy. Like that the I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. um, but basically things are going, and like I'm gonna be honest. Like I struggled to do like more than like 25 dials a day about a week ago, and now he sent me a screenshot of the amount of dials I've been doing after I started doing it in a new system, after he put some pressure on me because I need to do more dials. He said, "Bro, you did more dials today than you have in the past week and a half." And that was only like half the day, and I kept dialing. So I have a new system in place. I have almost like a new mindset towards dialing of I don't really care if they pick up, if they tell me to fuck off, if they, what happens on the call. Like, I'm just gonna keep calling, and, eventually someone will pick up, eventually someone will say, book me in for a call, and eventually someone will say to fuck off, whatever. You just keep dialing. And that's where things shift around. But the thing I'm realizing is, like, I've always had these opportunities present themselves. Like a year ago or so, like, same thing. I had an opportunity to really scale, to really put in a lot of, like, I guess, work into it, and then get a really good result. But I was always too lazy. I would always fail when it really mattered. And then this is me recognizing that pattern and going, nope, we're increasing the throttle. Even though I'm sick and I'm falling apart physically because I'm sore and like can barely just sit straight. But that's, I don't know. There's something special about that, of just knowing you are going to win because you have learned from the past. I mean, history repeats itself unless it doesn't, right? So that's my rambling for today. um, Things are moving in the right direction. It's going to take a while, but I mean, I'm not trying to. This is a Ponzi scheme. I'm not trying to make money tomorrow, right? And I don't know. Everything is just starting to work out, and the only thing I can think of is I cannot let this fail. Oh God, I need a shave too. Whatever. My brain is fried right now for being sick, and also it's like 10 p.m. right now, so that's fun. So hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a good time, and hope you took something away from this.